Fraudulent, continuing on in our constructive notice of treason document. Page 4 has bold letters that talk about fraudulent declarations of emergency, which are purposefully designed to subvert constitutional government. Okay? Hereunder, this constructive notice of treason document, we, the complaining parties herein, have come to know that certain powerful private interest groups have usurped authority to bamboozle otherwise honorable public servants into capitulating to their subversive agenda, mostly by way of numerous declarations of emergency. These have been produced by our national executive officers, judicial courts, and legislative assemblies. All of these give color of legitimacy to multitudes of constitutionally lawless usurpations of powers that were originally intended to be preserved to our states, counties, and smaller communities of our common American people. Multitudes of these superficial declarations of emergency have been entered into America's various public records, and they're fairly easy to find, even in smaller local communities. These purported emergencies have been used as justification to work around the constitutional safeguards which have been guaranteed to we the people of our American nation. Hereunder, compromised and or corrupted judicial executive officers routinely gain just enough feelings of security in order for them to pretend that they are acting legitimately when they know that they are actually abusing the constitutionally guaranteed rights of our American people. This is all accomplished under conditions in which otherwise intelligent and generally conscience-bound honorable public servants can frequently be bamboozled or threatened into going along with. Hereunder, our common people's judicial environment has diverted from normal constitutional parameters under the rule of law, and hereunder a breeding ground now exists in the courts of our American nation for the agents of the above-described powerful criminal syndicate to routinely obliterate constitutionally guaranteed rights of our common American people. The fact that these declarations of emergency are so epidemically widespread as to be profoundly and detrimentally affecting the lives of our common American people is reflected in a 1973 federal-level United States Senate report quoted partially in the accompanying citations document under Citations Group 1. I think this is a good study. It's the shot across the bow of the evil empire here. That United States Senate document, that Senate document said, to just open it up, a majority of the people of the United States have lived all of their lives under emergency rule for 40 years. Freedoms and governmental procedures guaranteed by the Constitution have, in varying degrees, been abridged by laws brought into force by states of national emergency. Continuing on, that United States Senate document clearly shows that the constitutionally guaranteed rights and liberties of every patriotic American are being abridged, quote, around the word abridged, through numerous official governmental declarations which collectively add up to, quote, a permanent state of national emergency, unquote. That document clearly references a supposed prerogative of him who has the executive power to implement this constitutionally foreign mode of governing. The logic and reasoning behind these changes is that the legislature is too slow and contains too numerous of an amount of people in order to provide for all the accidents and necessities which may concern the public. It also mentions the common problem that the lawmaking power is not always in being. We slightly, what's that about? Yeah, Paul Andrew Mitchell has composed a book entitled The Federal Zone that talks about the entire de facto nature of the federal government, and that's within the parameters of the civil municipal constitution. They're outside of those parameters as originally established in 1789. And many of you are familiar with Paul Andrew Mitchell's work that talks about the federal zone, how they're entirely outside of the specific limitations of the municipal model of government that they established in 1789.